What is going on, guys? Today we'll be playing Mini Motorways. Pretty fun game. We're going to be doing the weekly challenge, and this week's challenge is going to be Limitless Potential, Unlimited Road Tiles, Small Town Charm, so no destinations become circles, so everything stays pretty small. And then my first motorway, so I start with a motorway. Be pretty good start. And then we're just going to start with a quick little road, nothing too crazy. Speed it up, just nothing really to do. I'm gonna tell you a quick little story about how this guy really messed me up in my surveillance class. So, as y'all probably don't know, I'm in college and I'm taking a crime scene photography class. And the crime scene photography class is a lot of fun. It's also filled with girls because it was just me and one other dude. So, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you want to get into a girl-dominated field, do forensic science. It'll really pay dividends in the end. It's been paying dividends for me. And pretty much, in this crime scene photography class, we did a surveillance operation. And the surveillance operation was pretty good. There was supposed to be 6 of us. 5 of us showed up, and we were like, okay, not too bad. Wonder where the last guy is. He was like, I can't get there. My car broke down. His car broke down about a block away. Not even that far. And by breakdown, I mean he had a flat tire. Not too bad. Not too crazy if you ask me. But he just couldn't figure it out. So he called us up, and one of our buddies was like, okay, nothing crazy. I'll go help her out. So we were down to 4 people that had to do this operation on this campus, on this college campus, which was about 1.5 miles east to west. So it was a pretty big campus, especially for like 4 people who have to track somebody. And, we were like, oh my God, we gotta get in position. Like, we can't just be standing in a circle waiting for this guy to get his car fixed or for them to show back up. It's not gonna work too well. He was off doing whatever he wanted. And then our teacher said, 3, 2, 1, go. Operation starts now. And we were like, oh no, we're down people. No idea when they're going to be done. And we have 1.5 miles of campus to try and scrub for this dude. I was watching an entrance, and everybody else was watching either other entrances or waiting in very populated areas. So maybe we can try and get him that way. And it was going very stressful. It was very stressful for the first, I'd say, 5 minutes, because nobody had eyes on him, and it started, and we were just like, oh my God, what's going on here? But I saw him enter, which was really good. That's what I needed. We just needed eyes on the first person. If we got eyes on the person, this would have been super easy. We started, and I got eyes on him, and then everybody was in this group call, and I was like, all right, I got him. Dodge Charger, west side of campus, wearing a blue shirt, orange hat, moving towards the middle of the campus. And then all I hear is, somebody joined the call. It was the guy whose tire blew out, and he joined to tell us, hey man, I got someone to fix my tire. And I was like, okay, cool. Can you please get out of the call? This is very important. I don't mean to tell you to leave, but can you please leave? He was like, I got the people of the automotive program to fix my car. And we were like, okay, cool. Like, there was nothing more to add. But for him, he needed to break down the whole situation to tell us exactly what happened, exactly how it happened. So he was like, yeah, man, my car broke down and my tire blew, so then I ran to campus, and I got the automotive people to run with me back to my car to fix my tire. It was a very silly thing to do, if you ask me. And the teacher was like, all right, class, we're gonna go fix a tire. So it was him. I think they were both guys. I think there was 3 guys and 1 person dropped out. But they were like, yeah, no biggie. So when they got to his car, it was now the Madman Maddox, guy named Cam, and 7 people to fix a flat tire. because it was a learning opportunity. Notice this whole time this is going on, I'm trying to relay information about where this dude's at and what he's doing and what he's wearing and how he's moving. And everybody in the call was like, what? What? I can't hear you. What? And I started getting frustrated. I was like, middle of campus, wearing a blue shirt, orange hat. He's moving to person X. And she was like, well, I can't hear you. And I was starting to get so mad. So after I got some photos of him, I was like, all right, whatever. So then I started trying to figure out the communication situation, and it was not looking too well, especially knowing that nobody could hear me and everybody was starting to get pissed off. So I started moseying around, and I don't know if I said this, but if you get caught by the teacher taking pictures, you get a 0 on the assignment. So everybody was being very, very cautious about how they were moving around the campus and how they were trying to get the photos without being spotted and do this without doing that. And then I just said, fuck it. And I'm just gonna Assassin's Creed this shit. I'm gonna just Agent 47 Hitman blend in with my surroundings and move around the campus. I started moseying around, and there was this girl who was in a car, and her goal was to just to hear the comms and be like, all right, he's near block 2. And then she would have been like, okay, bet, drive over to block 2, take some pictures, drive away. Of course she would take pictures of the car in park. She's not going to drive around with a big ass camera going click, 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 click. That would be very, very weird if you ask me. I went over to her and I was like, can you hear anything? Like, I can't hear any call outs. I don't know where this dude's at ever since I lost him in the beginning. And she was like, nah, I don't see him. I don't see him at all. And I can't even hear where he's going to be at. So it's even worse. And I was like, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to change the plan a little bit. You and me are going to hold down the whole. We pretty much turned this 1.5-mile campus into about 4 buildings. What we did was we were like, okay, we know his last location was here. So you're going to wait at the right exit. I'm going to wait at the left exit. And no matter what, he's going to have to pass one of us. When that happens, just follow the dude. And that was going to go well. It went even better because when I was on the left side and she was on the right side, they decided to sit at a bench right in the middle of where we were both. So they were like prime. They were in like the perfect position for us to both get pictures on the man. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's only 4 people accounted for. Where's the other 2? Well, the other 2 were working with the other person because halfway through the assignment, our teacher said, there's going to be a drop off. There's another person you have to track. It's up to you to figure it out. We started stressing a lot. And we were like, I don't know about all this. So we broke up our forces. 2 people would stay on the dude. And then the other 2 would go and start hunting around looking for the girl. Like the second person that we have to track. They found her. Luckily, like with a stroke of luck, they heard her on the phone saying, drop off, middle of campus, 12:30. So we were like, oh shit, we got this locked down. We don't have to move anywhere. We don't have to find her. We know that we have to be in the middle of the campus at 12:30. So they were having a field day. They were just sitting there. And then there was me and the other girl, and we were just stressing. We were like, I can't find the dude. This isn't going well. I can't find the dude. But then when they met up, it was pretty much like we had him in a box. We had me and the girl on one side of the campus, blocking both exits, and then we had the other 2 on the other side of the table, like about, I'd have to say, 150 feet away, blending in, and they were taking some good photos too, so we got the whole interaction, like, perfect. Literally couldn't have been better. And, mind you, the whole time, we had the damn automotive teachers screaming in our ears about how to change a tire. But by that time, I had it muted, and apparently the other 2 were like still listening. Crazy enough, they were still listening. And when I saw them in person, they were so mad. They were like, I've been trying to relay information to you. I don't even know if you heard it. And I said, nah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I turned that off. It started bugging me. And then they were like, what about you? To my partner, to the girl, and she was like, I'm not gonna lie. I did the same thing. Then they started getting mad. So they were like, what the hell? You guys weren't listening to the call outs this whole time. And then we were like, we couldn't hear any call outs. There's no way we were gonna hear that. And they were like, well, that doesn't mean we should have made a new group chat. You should have done something. You should have done this. You should have done that. And I was like, nah, it's okay. Like, it's not even that deep. Like, yeah, it sucked, but like, we got the job done at the end of the day. So I wasn't really stressing, but everybody else was really mad. At the end, he said, abort mission, job complete, nobody got a 0. And everybody was so excited. They were like, yes, we weren't spotted. This is great. But then the guy that was getting his tire changed said, and I quote, me and Maddox weren't there. How should we make up this assignment? Everybody was speechless because he literally said nobody got a 0. He thought that these guys were invisible. They were in sniper stance, just like, I'm not being spotted. But then this guy opened his mouth and he was like, damn, just lost it all. Just lost all the motion for pretty much nothing. So then the teacher said, what do you want to do to make up the assignment? And he said, can we just redo the operation? And then my teacher said, no. And then Cam said, so how do you want us to make up the assignment? And he said, well, you figure it out. You get back to me. And I think I'm about to lose right now because of this. Damn. Anywho's, what I got? 1986. Ah, so close to 2000. Let's see how we ended up. Top 10% in the world. Sounds pretty good to me. I hope you enjoyed my yap sesh.